Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset podcast conversations. And this is one of our favorite topics, you and I. We've talked about this idea so many times. Tips to listen to your body.
Crikey. Crikey.
So, and actually a really beautiful space to start with to listen to your body is to drop into heart coherence, which is, as you know, listeners, if you've been with us before, you know that that's how we like to set the vibe, set the tone for our conversations. So I invite you to put one or both hands over your heart space. Just take a really nice, nurturing, deep breath into your heart space, into your chest. Pause slightly at the top and then sigh it out through your mouth. Just one cycle helps you drop into a better rhythm, a more softer space, a space of landing here. Take another deep breath in. And if you're sitting in a chair where you can lean back ever so gently, just so you can feel the support behind you as well as in front of you with your hands. Now breathe out. And take another deep breath, feeling your feet on the floor, feeling the support beneath you, whatever you're sitting on. Intending that you set aside some time, some awareness, set an intention for yourself that you're going to be inspired to listen to your body, to show up for your body, to allow your body's wisdom to guide you. And take another nice deep breath, connecting your energy with my energy and with Deb's energy. And breathe it out. And one last breath to connect your energy with everyone listening to this episode, no matter when or where. You see, together, when we connect our energies this way, sometimes that actually helps us listen better too, when we kind of feel more connected, more supported, more enveloped in this beautiful, loving kindness. That's the whole point of this coming into your heart space, right? So now,
Yes.
We invite you to grab a note-taking device of your choosing, and let's start getting into talking about tips to listen to your body. Wouldn't you agree that that is the essential part, is to just really be tactile, put your hand on your heart, lean back in your chair and take some deep breaths. That to me is one of the best ways to kind of open up to your physical awareness, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I wrote number one down, being the heart coherent. Absolutely. And I think I was thinking about that. For me, one of the things is slow down long enough to notice.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest ones for me, is because the body gives you these beautiful whispers so much until, and it's often if we don't slow down and listen, all of a sudden you're in hospital. Or all of a sudden you've got a not a headache, but you've got a migraine. Like it's not just average problems, it's like leveled up problems.
Magnified. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if we can, if when we stop to slow down. Well, this is so for me because I mean, I just keep going. I go, go,
Yeah.
go, go, go. But I
Mhm.
think that there, and just asking yourself, how do I feel? I'm just going to put this on mute. I can hear my beep coming through. Um,
Mhm.
how am I feeling physically, or what emotion is around me? But actually, really, bring in that curiosity as well to to look at it and unpack it and honor it, I think would be those things.
So I would add to that idea of curiosity to do your PEMS check-in with a sense of
Yes,
curiosity, right?
yes,
So
yeah,
checking in, that's the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual check-in. So having some curiosity, how does my body feel right now? How do
yeah,
I feel emotionally? What's the verbiage in my inner dialogue, my inner talk? And
yeah.
do I feel connected to that loving support? You know, when I guide us through that, the heart coherence, the
Mm,
the intent is to help us get in touch with the energetic aspects
mm,
of us, because we are not just these physical bodies. We're so much more than that. And
yeah.
that helps us, you know, craft that sense of curiosity and that sense of discovery and showing up for ourselves. Such an important part, right?
Yeah, and I think about last week's episode, tell yourself the truth.
Hmm.
Don't be, don't just tell yourself the truth. Because when you've got the truth, you can actually deal with it. When you're sitting in a lie, you're not going to deal with it at a deep level. So even if you go, my PEMS is out of order, I have had a bad sleep, or I have eaten too much or not enough, or I drank alcohol to go to bed, or God, I couldn't imagine doing that anymore. So even as I said that, my body went, I don't think so. God.
Nope. Do
Yeah.
you hear that? You hear that?
Um,
Actually,
yeah.
that's a really good point because I have been known to do that too. But I don't even know when it switched that even if I do have a glass of wine, the last thing that I'm drinking before heading into bed or heading into my rest time is tea. That's why I have this plethora of yogi tea bags.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
It gets grown from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'd have broken sleep. I'd be sweaty. I wouldn't, when I go to bed, I go, boom, done.
Yeah,
I play dead, and then I wake up and away I go again. Like
right.
I couldn't, yeah. But I think whether you like it or not, tell yourself the truth, honor yourself the truth, because then you can really go, okay, I can unpack this, whatever this is. I may not like it, but I can unpack this.
Yeah. And so that telling yourself the truth and just having some compassion with it too,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because so it's like, well, earlier today I was talking to somebody and that so I stood up and went, wow, my back's really sore. So I now
Oh,
need to so then I need to talk to my back and sort of get some
yeah,
clarity on
yeah,
what's going on with that, right?
yeah, yeah,
But having some compassion, it's like, yeah, yes, it's because I've been doing a lot of physical activity.
yeah.
And so then I need to take things in a different pace, but there's nothing wrong in any of that, right?
No, no. But I think if you put in that curiosity, I mean, curiosity to me is have a little bit of playfulness and that sort of stuff. If you bring in that curiosity, it just has a softer buffer,
Mhm.
and you're not as, oh no, what's going on with me? My poor back, oh, it's,
Yeah,
I've done something, what, but actually, oh, I wonder what this is about. Oh, let's have a
yeah, what
look.
am I going to
You
discover
know,
here?
Yeah, not a fearful, what am I going to discover here? But oh, okay, well, this gives me something to work on. That's pretty cool. My body's signaling something that I've missed. I guess, yeah, I love the truth and compassion. I think, when I think about this, it's you have to pay attention to the reoccurring signals, because
Mm-hmm.
and that's why, when I said at the start is slow down long enough to notice. The body tells us every day, all day, something's going on.
Yep.
Whether it's, whether it's just your back, or whether it's, oh, I've got a bit of a wobble on, I need to drink more water, or, oh, I haven't peed for a while, or, like anything, that there are so many reoccurring signals that, headache, sleep, that we
Headache,
don't,
neck ache, shoulder ache, backache.
yeah,
Yeah.
anything that just feels out of sorts. And they're not they're, they're not random.
Mm-mm.
Like they're not random, they're there showing you something. So it is that slow down long enough to notice, but also, pay attention to them and go, oh, okay, actually, you know what? Whenever I've gone to my mum, I've noticed I've had headaches. This is interesting. What's going on here?
Yeah.
But actually just bring in that curiosity again.
But curiosity, but also gratitude. That would be my next
Oh,
tip
yeah,
on the heels of that one, because
yeah.
having gratitude to a recurring symptom, whether it's a headache or a neck
Oh,
ache
I've got
or
another headache. Every time I go to my
yeah,
mum, I get the same headache. Da, da, da.
yeah, it's like have some
Don't,
gratitude. It's like, hey, your body's trying to give you some intel here.
yeah,
When we say thank you,
yeah,
what's then we get to unpack it and have some self-awareness of, gosh,
yeah,
whenever I'm in this environment, I tense up in a certain way.
yeah.
And that
And
can
you,
be
and you,
informing you something of that's not actually the best environment for you. So then
yeah, and
thank
it is
you.
that
Yeah.
truth that comes in to go, okay, well, they are family, but I get a headache every time, or I get overwhelmed, or, it's, everybody's different. I think that's it. I guess, well, then we're going to jump into comparing again. But everyone's different, for everyone's body is telling you something differently.
Mhm.
We don't, like, we all have the same bodies, but they all got the same functioning parts, but they function differently on each person. I guess that's, yeah,
Tension's going to show up in different ways. And there's two pieces
yes,
that come in here for me is one of the and I've often suggested this one is how do I feel about myself here? So how do
yeah,
I feel about myself? So I'm talking about your emotional and your physical response. How do I feel? How do I feel in my body? How do I feel emotionally? How do I feel mentally? And
yeah,
that's going to actually help you figure out, yes, my body's saying yes, and I feel comfortable and confident here. Or it's saying, this is not such a good space for you. And it doesn't matter who these people are or what
yeah,
these projects are. It's so important to honor and acknowledge and have some gratitude because that is intel for you.
mm,
But the other question, and it's that set of three questions, is this good for me? Yes or no? Is this good for them? Yes or no? And do I want to? Yes or no? That's such a beautiful way to listen to your body.
yeah,
Where does yes show up? Because all three of those must be a yes.
yeah,
Because if any of those are a no and you go along with it anyway, maybe just maybe one of those recurring physical nudges will start to smack you on the right. That headache
yeah,
might turn into a migraine that takes hours to shift
mm.
if you override that intel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and going back to the steps that we've had is slow down.
Hmm.
How do I feel about myself? Oh, I don't know. Blah, blah. Slow down.
Yeah.
How do I feel about myself? How does it truly feel? And then the curiosity, and then the gratitude, going back to the basics, I was just going to say.
Well, it's the recipe, isn't it? These are the
It is.
ingredients for the recipe of it.
Yeah. And they are the things that keep you functioning as we go, Um, yeah. Well, once you have the awareness, it can shift because you're like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Okay, okay, wake up and I've got a sore jaw. Well, I've clenched my jaw, or I've grinded my teeth in the night. Like, okay, so what's really going on at night? Am I holding everything? And
Hmm.
it brings that beautiful curiosity. But I'm also going to say, I'm going to bring in Debs and Moira in this one, because when you get to this point, how do I feel about myself? You may get a little bit icky. You may go, how do I feel? Oh, I don't know. How am I supposed to feel? Well,
Right.
I'm pissed. I'm peeved. Whoops. I'm peeved off because I've had this headache for 4 days and it hasn't shifted. You know,
Hmm.
guess what? It won't shift unless you do something about it, by the
Yep.
way.
Yep.
But just a
Yep.
little heads up,
Bye
there's,
bye.
yeah. But if you can, reach out to us. We can definitely help you. We can definitely show you things, and hand on the heart, start breathing. Just even the tips that we've given you, we can go through these again with you
Yeah.
to ground you and allow you to function and breathe again to get through.
To
Um,
translate them and maybe craft them into what feels right for you. Because
yeah.
you and I have talked about this before many times, that all of the tips that we suggest and that we live by, they all
Mm,
work,
yeah.
but they do not work for every single situation, and they will not work for every single person in the same way. So this is about having an awareness and a willingness to try it. That not say, oh, well, this is it. I have to do this breathing mantra because Moira said.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
it's like,
you've got a lion running towards you, and you're like, okay, hang on, I need to put a hand on heart and start breathing and go, how do I feel about myself now? No, no, we're not gonna like this. Just no, you're gonna run. You're gonna run. I'm gonna suggest you run. But hand on heart and breathing ain't gonna help you right there. Like you're right. These tips are ones that we can guide you through.
yes,
Can you imagine that? There's a line coming. Hang on, hand on heart. Moira and Deb said hand on heart. And if I breathe, if I'm present, chaos moves straight past me. No, there's certain things that it's not, I think, from that. But I guess the
that
other
goes
thing
back to
is,
how does this make me feel about me?
yeah, how does this make me feel about me as this lion's running towards me? Um, I think the other thing is, when we talked a little bit just about pay attention to those reoccurring signals,
Mhm.
but also notice where you're holding your stress. Notice, where you're holding that. Like, is it in the jaw? I talked about jaw clenching. you know, from that, is it in the jaw? Is it in the back? Is it in the knees? Where is it really? And is it at the same place each time?
Mm.
Like, really have that beautifulness to unpack it. Don't fear it. This is
No,
great. These signals are coming. They're whispers before they shout. I think everyone says that they're whispers before they shout. But have a
absolutely.
good
And
look
that's
at what
going
they.
into what we've talked before about all of this is for you. It's not against you.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
you meet a recurring symptom, oh God, there's that pain in my knee again, and get really irritated and angry, and I was going to go for a run, but now I can't because of this aching knee, and then you're
yeah,
getting mad at your body. Say, no,
yeah.
there's some intel there. There's some information. So if you be kind to your knee and say, okay, hello, hi,
Well, see,
have
that's
a
the other thing.
dialogue with it.
Talk. Yeah, yeah. So that's even dialogue your body parts.
Yes.
Doesn't sound that sexy. Dialogue your body parts, but um, you know, I yeah, talk to it. Talk to it.
But you
Hey,
can
hey, knee,
talk to it
what's
with
going on?
compassion. You can talk to it with kindness. You can talk to it with inquiry, right? This is
Yeah,
about curiosity. It's like, hello,
yeah,
hello, what are you here to teach me?
yeah.
As
What's going
opposed
on
to,
here?
what the hell are you doing for me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because no one wants to hear that one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But it sometimes, and I've done this. If I've had, like, let's say I have a sore neck, I might actually put my hand on the place that's hurting and just I don't even have to speak out loud, because it's by
yeah.
placing my hand on it, I can suddenly go, oh, it's because I've been slumped over my computer for
Yeah.
hours without actually straightening up or going for a walk or stretching. And
See,
it
see,
can be as
even
quick
even
as that.
that's what I was just going to say, and it can be as simple as that. Like,
Hmm.
oh, well, that makes sense. This is telling me to get up out of my desk you know, every hour and
Yeah,
just stretch.
yeah.
Like, I remember when the pandemic happened, I went to see a physio. I had a problem with my hand, and the physio said, "I'm surprised your whole neck and back aren't out." I was like, "What?" He said, "Because you just sit at your desk all day long, hunched over." And I was like,
Right.
"Oh." And then, of
Yeah.
course, well, then I bought into it. So then the next day, what did I get? I had sore neck and shoulders, and I was like, where did this come from? But yeah,
Like,
so that's the other thing is
hey,
be careful you don't buy into other people's stuff as well, even if they
that's
are the
their
medical
opinion.
experts. Yeah, yeah.
That's their opinion. Yeah.
But even that, but then it's just like, oh well, that makes sense. It's not that I need to have a spinal fusion because my back's sore. No, it's because I've sat in my chair for 2 days, hunched over and probably done, 20 hours or something like that in
Hmm.
that chair.
Hmm.
And it gives you that, oh well, okay. But of course that's why. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to be the big drama, whatever.
No, But you know, it's interesting about the other people's ideas because you and I have talked about this before. I don't know if we've actually talked about this
Oh,
on
yeah.
recording, but about my sciatic issue. I have
Oh, yeah.
what is basically a trapped sciatic. And
Oh,
I know, and it can be extremely painful, let me tell you.
yeah.
Um, so I've been to for treatment, I've been for a CT scan, and there is no proof that it's trapped. And
Oh, really?
I had a conversation with this chiropractor who she said that sometimes people can have a trapped sciatic and it shows up on the scan and they have no pain. Whereas other times it can not show up on the scan and yet they have it. And so I'm one of them. But so for
Oh,
me, and so for me, that's why I make sure that I get my steps in. But there are times where it's like, Myra, you overdid it. And
yeah.
so then I
Yeah.
have to be kind and sit on
Send
my
us some love.
send it some love, sit on my heating pad. But
Yeah.
it helps me really slow down enough to watch. It's like you can't keep rushing and running and doing
Mm,
things like I did when I was in my 20s, right?
yeah.
And so that's I was just that was chuckling about you saying that somebody said, "Oh, this is what's going to happen." Maybe that would be a good thing if they said, "No, Myra, you don't have a trapped sciatic," and I went, "Oh, I don't have one."
Yeah, I struggle when medical people diagnose me with things and oh, you've got this, and I'm like, do I? Do I?
Yes.
Even if they've had like years and years and years of experience, this is what's going to happen. Is it? Is it? Thank you for informing me. But I don't think I'm going to buy into that one. I'm going to
Yeah.
be one of those unique ones. Although I do remember saying to a friend menopause many, many, many years ago, and still haven't hit menopause yet. Apparently I should have been at my age, da da da.
Mhm.
But they said to me, "Oh, this is what menopause." I was like, "Oh no, hell no, no, I'm not getting that. No." And I remember two of my friends just saying, "Of course, Deborah, you just really think you're going to be the one woman in the world that's not going to get any menopausal symptoms forever." And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you one woman out of everyone, yeah. And I still giggle because they still go, have you had menopause yet? You had menopause yet? And I'm like, no, no, no. And I still haven't had all those symptoms, but yeah, they're like, okay, the one woman in the world, Deborah, out of everyone is not going to get. I was like, no, I'm not buying into that menopause. No, I'm not.
But it's actually that's a really interesting concept because I have had a lot of those the
You,
menopause part.
yeah,
Well, I'm a couple of years older than you anyway. But
yeah.
but the only thing I'm left with now is the night sweats, which I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't wish them
I
on
get that if
anybody.
I leave my electric blanket on. Yeah, that's
I wouldn't wish them on anybody. But
yeah.
what when you're talking about what other people say, I put on a lot of weight when I came into menopause. I put on 35 pounds. And most
Wow.
women my age and older said, well, Moira, that's part of menopause. That's what happens. And then you can't lose it. You just got to get used to this is where you're at.
I love it when people say you can't lose. It's like,
Yeah,
what, who,
yeah,
what,
yeah.
what?
But you
Just do what I
see,
want.
exactly. It's like, yeah, but this is my body. This is
Yeah.
my body. So I kind of I did kind of follow that. I swallowed the Kool-Aid a little bit there
Yeah.
for a couple of years, actually. I would say about maybe 2 years. And then actually this is funny. I had a client, or she still is my client. Um, she's in her 70s and she started to lose weight doing this behavior modification. And I thought, gosh, if she can do it in
Oh,
her 70s, she's way past menopause, then
yeah.
then I can do it. And I tell her
Yeah.
that story now that's like, well, it's you that
You changed me.
motivated me. So since
Yeah.
then I have lost 34 pounds and maintained it. Like I've kept that off for the last 2.5 years. It's just
Yeah. It's yeah, you're right. It's we if we buy into that script that we've been
yeah,
given,
yeah.
and I guess that's anything, you're good at this job. Okay, well, I need to stay doing that job. We do we
Ah.
do we do listen a lot to outside influences, but I mean, and I guess the other
So
thing
this
is
is
the
about
medical.
don't give your power away to outside influences, right?
Yeah, but it's also we think because they're the medical, they have all the answers. You know, we think, and they should. I'm just gonna
But
bring
they
in that,
don't.
and they should, but they're still human beings, still experiencing life, doing their own things anyway. But
Mhm.
you know, they have their textbook. You know, 10 out of 11 people or 9 out of 10 people have this symptom and this is what it is. So they are going to give you that information because that's valid information. But you don't have to be those 9 people. You can be that one other person who doesn't have it.
Yeah,
Just that's up well, it's actually it's up to your body. It's not up
up
to
to your
you.
body. Yeah,
Yeah, it's up to
yeah.
you. It's not up to you. It's up to your body, but it's the same thing. But you know, you don't have to. But we do listen a lot to the medical, and I'm saying listen to them. I'm not saying don't listen to them. For goodness
Oh
sake, I'm not.
yes,
Oh,
listen,
no,
and
listen, but choose what
resonates
are
with you. What does your
you
body say
want to
yes
take on.
to?
Yeah.
Well, this is like that story. I've told you this story before about the specialist when I had my broken arm. And the specialist told me that I would if he said to me, if I
That's
was
right.
really disciplined and diligent with all the physio, that I would be able to get back. It was probably about 80% range of motion that he was saying I would get back. And I remember listening to him and nodding and saying, okay, but in my head I was thinking, well, that's an interesting point of view
That's
because yep, I'm getting it all the way back. And it was really fun because I became really good friends with the physio because she said that she'd never met somebody so diligent and determined as me. Because
oh,
I did all of the homework, I did the exercises in between the appointments and everything. She said nobody does that. I'm like, yep, well, I'm
see,
getting 100% range of
see,
motion back.
that's the part. That's even just that. No one does that. They give you advice to do, and you're like, I know better.
I know, I know.
It's like I don't need to do. I don't need. I'll only do the exercises. 3 days out of the 7 day week.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah. No, I
no,
only
no.
do them when I come to my appointment. That's what she was saying, is that people, because she would send people home with stretch bands and things to
Yeah,
do. I had a pulley that was on the back of a door, the door, and I had to do these stretches. I'm showing
yeah.
Deb what these stretches look like.
Yeah, yeah, I can see them. I was like, that's actually that'll be good. That would get my underarm thing
Yeah, there
that's
you
happened
go.
lately. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's it. Yeah, but I think that's it. So do listen to the doctors because that's their medical their that's their whole study.
Hmm.
But also, it's okay to say no to that. You know, if you're going through something, you know, tips to listen to your body. If you're going through something that is heavy, well, well, I mean, I remember when I had my found out I was pregnant and I was interviewing midwives, and this is, you know, going back 25, 26 years. Um, and I went through three. I looked. It was my third one that when she walked in, I went, "Oh, you're perfect for me." Before she
Hmm.
even opened her mouth, I just thought you're perfect for me.
So you just
And but
felt it in your body. Is
yeah,
that
I
what it
felt it.
was?
Yeah,
Good.
I just knew. And Mum was mortified because I'd let the other two go. Mum was just like, Debbie, you can't just go, I don't like her voice. And you know, like one of them had this voice. I was like, no, no,
No,
no, no, no. And all I could hear was this. I was like, no. And look, the woman was lovely, but I was like, no, you're not, no, no. Because every time, you know, it was just a no. And Mum's like, you can't just let these people go. They're
of
professionals.
course
I'm
you
like,
can. No,
I
of course
can.
you can.
It was, but
That's
Mum's
funny.
so old school. She was like, no, Deborah, no, you. And I was like, no, Mum. And then the next lady, I was like, oh, hell no. And then the third one was just the most darlingest lady ever. And she's actually, well, she was perfect for me. She was perfect. And she actually now teaches midwives. Um,
Sweet.
but it's okay to say no to that, you know, get a second opinion. If you even if you're going against the medical experts, get a second opinion. Like do that because they may be going through the textbook and you may find someone who just goes, hey, look, if we just changed your eating pattern, things can change. You know, it can be simple stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated for
Mm-mm.
some things.
No.
But be okay with I don't know if shopping around. It sounds horrible,
Well,
shopping around for the
no,
right medical expert, but
this comes right back into how does this make me feel about me?
yeah,
Because if somebody's speaking to you in a jarring way, you know what this makes me think of is in my work as a hypnotherapist, I used to, back when I first, I've been a clinical hypnotherapist for going on 15, I think it's probably closer to 20 years now, but anyways, when I first started, I would always do a complimentary mini session with a person. And sometimes people would ask me, how come you're doing that? And I said, because when I was first doing my own research, my own study.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
There were a couple of people that I got hypnotized by, who one of them, he had this really twangy American high-pitched voice with an accent that made it felt like the nails on the chalkboard.
Oh no, hell no.
And I remember feeling like, I know this is supposed to be helping me. This is supposed to be helping me calm down and yeah, no. And so I know exactly what that jarring sense is. And so if I need to have somebody hear my voice to say, oh yeah, that vibes, that makes me
Yeah.
feel good. But I've had enough experience under my belt now that people generally like my voice.
Yeah.
Right. But your example is perfect. I completely agree with that. And that's why. Because in order to receive the healing or the guidance or the service, we got to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think worrying about other people's opinions that I've upset her because I mean I never told her I didn't like her because I didn't like her
Of course you
voice.
didn't. No.
Back in the day I probably would have if I was,
That's
back in the
just
day.
that was Deborah
Well, I just
1.0. She's now
yeah,
Deborah
just let you know.
3.0.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of discernment with that. But you're right, because if they're going to give you that information or that medical, something that you actually have to listen to,
Yeah. Yeah.
you actually want to be able to have that soothing voice that you can hear it and you can understand it. And it's okay because her voice won't trigger other people.
Yeah.
But it triggered me, and I was like, no. But mum was just like, oh, Deborah, you can't just do this, and I'm like, I can. If she's going to be my support all through this, all the way to the very end, and when
Well,
I'm
it's
in vulnerable
something that's very
situations,
vulnerable. Yeah. We got
yeah,
to feel
definitely.
comfortable in that kind of
Yeah.
environment, that
I don't
setting.
want her voice delivering bad news or anything. It's like, no,
Nope.
no. All I'll be
Nope.
going is, why did I let her in this room? Yeah. But I think, being okay with that because I love that. How do I feel about myself? Because you do have to put yourself first
Mhm.
again,
Mhm.
you know. Um, but when I think about tips to listen to your body, I have more and more leaned into my intuitiveness.
Mm. That's how
And I
it
think,
talks to us, is through our body.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And even though we do curiosity, we talk about curiosity, our intuitiveness, we already know what's really going on. If you haven't eaten nourishing food. We know if you haven't drunk enough water, like listen to your intuition, what's really going on. If something feels off or something, you know, feels deeply not right, like listen to it. Don't ignore it. Pause, reflect, explore, bring that in, but don't run from it. But trust your intuition because it's telling you every moment of every day when you slow down enough to listen to it
Yep.
that there's something going on.
Mm.
Yeah, inner wisdom, inner wisdom.
Yep. So, and that is the point, is your inner wisdom, your intuitive nature. It speaks to you through your body.
Mm,
So that's how come it's in a previous example that I gave about I've got a sore neck, so I put my hand on my neck to see. Actually, that reminds me of a story. way long time ago when I was transitioning out of the corporate work that I used to do. I had a terrible, terrible neck, sore neck, and I had gone to various massages and chiropractor and acupuncture to try and
Yeah.
help me. And ultimately, what was happening was I was reacting in a fear-based way because I was stepping away from something that I knew I could make good money, and I'm
Yeah, yeah.
stepping into my energy work, healing, coaching, and I felt like I was sticking my neck out. And as
It's
soon
so
as
these things are so obvious when
I
you go,
know,
like
I
when
was like,
you just
oh,
yeah.
yep. So as soon as I landed in that, the sore neck cleared up.
Yeah, yes. And that's exactly it. So you didn't have to you all you had to do was acknowledge it. You didn't have to
Exactly.
fix anything. You
Mm,
just went, "Oh, that makes sense." Boom. That's all it
done.
needed for you to go to recognize it and go, "Okay, okay, okay, I just got to trust myself that, put that in." I think actually we haven't even talked about trust. Crikey. Tips to listen to your body. Trust.
OMG. Yes.
Yeah. I'm a my body, well, my body's doing a lot right now lately to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving me a lot of signals. But when I think about trust, I know if I eat a heap of junk, if I just eat a heap of junk, my body very quickly will send me to the toilet.
Right.
Very quickly will send me to the toilet, and I'll
Enough of this.
yeah, enough of that. And I trust that. And even if I do test my body and do that, it just goes, oh, here she goes again, let's just get it all out, let's start afresh. And I love those things. So like, you've got to trust your body is telling you
Mm,
so much. Just don't fight your body, don't fight your inner wisdom would be
mm,
my thing.
mm. No, and that's actually an interesting point too, because for me, if I eat when I'm in a really emotional space, that's when my digestive system will go off.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so that then I have to change things up, and it's just because that is really listening to my body. Is I listen to my body, it says, no, you're in a real emotional state. So okay, I won't eat, or I'll just have something really light,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that comes back into trust. That check-in is because I trust my body to guide me and show me what is needed.
Yeah, it just trusting it's your body won't lie to you, and your body is there to keep you functioning. Like, it's not gonna betray you.
Mm.
It's gonna say, "Hey, matey potato, you've done it again."
Matey potato.
Matey potato. Hey, matey potato, you've done it again. Come on, pull yourself back into a line. All of those things. But trust is so, so vital. I can't believe we
Hmm.
got all to the all this
Almost
way
to the
down.
end before we got that.
I know, I know, I know. We have to wrap up. This is tips to listen to your body. There is so much I want to say also. There's so much I want to share, but we're not going to make this as an extended long um podcast. So grab your note-taking device, listeners, because we are going to wrap this up with all of our tips
Hmm.
in a condensed version, and maybe a few more added in, if I could say
Condensed,
that.
concise. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. But the first one I'm going to throw right out is our heart coherent.
Mhm.
It's just our heart coherent at the very start of this, hand on heart, the breathing, all of that, just pulling us back to our heart,
Yep.
pulling us back to our heart.
Yep. And then from there, Deb's tip to slow down
Yeah.
enough to listen. So start with the heart coherence for sure, but even just using that as oh
Mm.
gosh, who knew? I do have an ache or a pain or a headache,
Yeah.
right? And then being that helps us be aware. Because I don't know about you, but if I'm really on, stuck in working on my computer, got a deadline, working on a project, I'm not listening to my body. So that's
No,
why we
you're
have to really create space to slow down enough to go, okay, wait, where's my breath? How's my body?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. where was I? Just when I was saying slow down long enough to notice, it was when I was back home and my feet started tingling, my toes started tingling, and I was like, what the hell? What's this going? I haven't got time for toes tingling. And then I realized I'd been literally sitting in that one spot for like 3 hours without even moving. And
Oh
of course my
dear.
legs started to go
Of
numb and
course.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just that slow down long enough to notice instead of just going, no, I haven't got time for this. It's like, okay, what's going on? Oh God, all I need to do is wiggle my toes and go for a little walk around the house, and then
Right. And then
and
you're
that's
good to
it.
go.
Simple.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did talk about that actually with somebody else, and they said if they sit down for a long period of time, they get flight socks on.
Oh, the compression socks.
Yeah, compression
Yeah.
socks. Yeah, just because they sit at their desk all the time, and I was like, oh wow, that's a good idea for you, not for me. Like getting those
I,
things on,
I,
bloody,
th
they're
I
a pain in
think
the
I
ass.
think it's a better idea to just get up and
Yeah, get up and
move
walk. Yeah,
around.
yeah. Well, it takes me that long to get those blooming things on.
Yeah, I
When
know.
you get them on, you run up the leg and all the rest of it, let alone do that. Yeah, I'll just rather go for a walk around the house every
Yeah.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the next one is curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Bring in that curiosity. Bring in that curiosity of what's going on, that beautiful picture of that curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Yes.
Bring it into funness.
And that's when I suggested that to do your PEMS check-in with that
Yeah.
curiosity, right? So checking in, how is my physical body? How's my emotional well-being? How's my mental state? How's my connection to source? And that playfulness is such an important one, especially when we
Mm.
get into the, yeah, I don't have time for this. That's not playful.
Well, that's when you need to have time for it because
Exactly.
it's yeah, heavy. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. The PEM, I love PEMs. I love the PEMs. I love the PEMs. I mean, so many of my clients just send me messages. Table leg fell off. So so I only
That
have
one's
one PEM
funny. I like
today.
that.
Yeah, yeah. But it just makes you go, oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
now
Now I
I
understand.
understand.
Yeah. Um, the next one I have is truth and compassion.
Hmm.
And tell yourself the truth and have compassion with what it is.
Yeah.
When you hear the truth, you may not like the truth. You can't handle the truth. I think of that movie, whatever that is.
Yeah, I know.
But
I
it
know
is,
that
and the truth is you don't probably want to handle the truth. You don't want it, but you've got it. So
because
you got to
that's
have to
why it's
deal with it.
there. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's in front of you. But if you can put that truth and compassion in the same pot and mix them up, it does have it has a more beautiful,
There's
wholesome.
a softness
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, softness to it. Yeah. Yeah.
But that from there you brought in this idea of to pay attention to the recurring signals. Because when
Mm,
we tell ourselves the truth with compassion, we might say, oh gosh, every time I say yes to this, I get this
yeah.
stiffness or pain or ache. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, you see, because when we deny or ignore those signals, and Deb and I can both tell lots of examples of this, when you ignore them,
Aha.
they get louder, they get
Yeah.
bigger. Because if you ignore the signal that's coming from these recurring ailments or
Mm,
stresses or tensions, you gotta acknowledge them and do something with them because
yeah.
they're for you. It is
Mhm.
for you ultimately,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Whether you like it or
Whether
not.
you like it or not. Yeah.
Which brings us into the next one, which was gratitude.
Gratitude.
Whether
Yes.
you like it or not, if you didn't like it, then I
Ah,
suggest you turn it to gratitude because when it is gratitude, it doesn't, gratitude just allows everything to settle down, the the dust to settle down, and you're just left with a wholesome. You just feel like okay, and it doesn't run your mind, it doesn't run your body, it doesn't run your world, your outside influences. You just like okay, I'm actually grateful that this has landed me on my bum.
mhm.
And I've got a headache because it's making me look at really what's truly going on here. Because you
Yep.
can only skim for so long.
Yep.
You can
Yep.
only skim for so long and it all catches up on you people. Just
Yep.
letting you know, whether you
Just
like it or not, Deborah.
Deborah. But like I
Deborah.
said, I know both of us have examples of that happening.
Yeah,
Yes,
gratitude's a beautiful one.
absolutely is. The next one I suggested the two questions that I like to say. The first one is, how does it make me feel about me? How does this, meaning using these words, doing this process, being in this environment, saying yes to this, saying no, how does it make me feel about me? But then the other one is my set of 3 questions of, is this good for me? Yes or no? Is this good for them? Yes or no? And do I want to? Yes or no? Because that, though, right there is such a beautiful way to slow down enough to listen to your
Grounds
body.
you.
It really does
Yeah.
ground you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it all, by the way, all 3 of those has to be hell yes in order for you to do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
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 No diluting it. Or going,
No.
oh, well, just this one.
I'll be all
No.
right. No,
Nope.
I'll be all right. I'll get through. No.
Nope.
No. The next one I have is Debs and Moira.
Hmm.
Deliciously motivated, Debs and Moira. We are here for you. The tips to listen to your body. We will hold that energy and space and be there for you. We are there for you to go through this, to explain the PEMS deeper for you, to
Yeah.
put your hand on your heart, to start focusing on that breathing. What does that breathing look like? Oh, of course I breathe. I breathe every day. Okay, but there's let's just breathe and set that intention. Whatever that is, we are here for you. So you don't have to have these signals that come in and whack you.
Yeah. We don't want that. And then if they
Yeah,
do, then definitely reach out, because we can help craft these tips, tailor them to you, to your
absolutely.
specific way,
Ab-
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The next one I have is, Deb suggested that it's very important to notice where you're holding, where you hold your stress. Where do you hold your stress? Oftentimes I find it's in my neck and shoulders. Sometimes it'll be different areas, but don't fear it. Don't run away from it. Just kind of go, oh, this is about slowing
Mm.
down and being aware and softening it up. And that's when I was suggesting, I like to, if I can, I'll put my hand on the ailment or the area. And sometimes that just in itself is saying, oh, I don't have to ache anymore now because you just gave me some TLC.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is where I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
and which is funny because I was thinking when we were talking about neck, I was like, actually, I'm staying out of town, and the last couple of mornings, and only now have I realized the last few mornings actually I've woken up with a sore neck, and I'm like,
Oh,
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 and it's only and so sitting here, I'm going, oh, I've actually got a sore neck. That must be the pillow. So I'm like, okay, tonight I'm going to find a different pillow just for that because I hadn't thought about it because I get up and I carry on. But actually, so we
mm,
talk about sore neck and everything. I was like, actually, you know what? I've been waking up and it hasn't been a beautiful wake up. And like, all got a bit of a sore
ah.
neck.
Well,
But it
good
can
that
be
we're having this conversation then.
yeah, to listen to your body, Deborah. But this is how simple it can be. I think the other thing is, you know, I'm going to add in another tip is when we unpack this, it can be simple. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. We don't have to
100%.
complicate things. It can just be, oh, I just replaced the pillow. Oh, that makes sense then.
Hmm,
You know, instead of sleeping on this pillow for 7 days and then having to go to a chiropractor. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the next one I have was dialogue your body parts.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them. Talk, you don't have to say it out loud if you don't want to, but talk to them. Just go, hey, what's going on? Why's my shoulder out? What can I do to help you? What's the best? Actually talk to it.
Hmm,
Ask it.
hmm.
Ask it what's going on. It's going to tell you. When you slow down enough to notice.
That's, yes, that one has to be threaded into almost all these
Yeah, into
tips, I think.
everything. Yeah.
Slow down,
Yeah.
slow down. The next one I have is to don't give your power to outside influences. And that's when
Yeah.
we were talking about medical professionals or just public opinion, even, because that's when I was talking about the whole menopause thing. That the
Yeah.
scuttlebutt is, this is how menopause shows up, and then we put on weight and we can't get rid of it.
And
So
people are just telling us that stuff because they want to help us. So they're not telling them to
yeah.
be a-hole, to go, your life needs to be ruined with menopause and here's all the symptoms. No, they're telling us because they just want us to be aware of it. That's all.
Hmm.
They're not, don't shoot the messenger.
Or maybe it's because they've given up on themselves and they're just like, no, you come and join my club.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
But
Um,
that's when I went into talking about the my specialist who was helping me heal my arm, basically saying you can regain 80% range of motion if you're good. That's what I was like, if you're good and do all the physio. Like, yeah, okay. I'll be good and do all of it, and I'm getting 100% back, which I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's where your head is, when they tell you that stuff. I mean, I had an operation recently and they said, "Oh, you won't be able to do this, this, and this." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
Oh, that
in
sucks.
in your brain. I don't, and then 24 hours later, here's me doing exactly the thing that he said you won't be able to do for like weeks. I'm
Oh,
like,
didn't you go dancing or something?
yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know it,
dancing.
dancing. Yeah, yeah.
Completely dancing. Yeah, like yeah, and I shouldn't have been. I should have been sitting at the edge of a hospital bed type things. I was like, no, no, I want to move. I want to
Mhm.
move, and I want to move good. You
Yep.
know. But yeah, so the other thing is also shop around for your medical team is what I put down. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
and I think if my mum's listening, she'd go, Deborah, Deborah. But be okay with actually get a second opinion, get a third opinion if you have to. You know, if you have to get four opinions, like whatever that is, to make you go, okay, I can now understand what they're saying because each person is going to deliver something different
Mhm,
that's going to make you feel comfortable
mhm,
or uncomfortable. But you just, be okay with saying, I need another opinion
mhm.
from that because they are, medical people are experts in their field, but they're also textbook. There's one in a million this happens to that it doesn't happen to. Well, you could be that one in a million,
Yeah,
but you've got
exactly.
somebody telling you all the rest of the things that you're not that one person.
Yeah.
So you don't know, but be okay to shop around for your medical people.
Which is when, and I suggested that
Which is
too,
just
is
like with
that,
a coach. People are going to
yeah,
listen to, like, you're going to listen to a coach and you're going to go, oh, I don't like her, I don't like him, or whatever. So you should be okay with shopping around.
exactly. And that's when I said that too about my hypnosis sessions, is that
Yes.
the thing, and this is the thing, is that when we're dealing with our own well-being, whether it's a coach or a therapist or a healer, it doesn't matter. When we are engaging in the services of someone else, we have to feel good and
Mm-hmm.
trust and feel like this is making me feel better.
Yeah.
Because if it's jarring, if it's a voice that you don't like, if it's an accent that you don't like, then that's going to create this sort of filter, which therefore
Absolutely.
your body's not relaxing and saying, let me receive this elixir of healing, whatever that shows up as, right?
Yeah. 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 Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why I talked about oh the really dialogue. This is coming back to the dialoguing with parts of your body. The story that I shared was the me having that sore neck when I was transitioning from corporate work into the healing
Mm.
work.
It's
And
so obvious when you find out what the
I
medical thing is.
know, I
You're
know.
like, duh.
But what was really interesting, it was actually a colleague in the corporate world that helped me. He said to
Oh,
me, he said to me, Myra, I get the sense that you're feeling like you're sticking your neck out and that what if this is the wrong thing? And he said, who cares if it is? Because you're really good at this bookkeeping corporate work. You can always come back. And I went, huh, he's right. And so
yeah. And
that
and
it was
then
that moment, no sore neck. And that was after almost a month of trying to shift it through different acupuncture, physio,
yeah.
chiropractor, massage.
See, sometimes it's so simple.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
and then you're like, duh, of
It's like, yeah,
course.
okay, I'll listen to my body.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Yep,
rightio. Yeah.
yep.
Mm. The next one I have here is trust your intuition. Again, okay, I'll listen to my body. Trust your intuition. And um I've got inner wisdom is communicating. Don't know why
Well,
somebody must
because
have
that
said
was
that.
when I was saying that that's how your intuition speaks to you is through your body.
Oh, yes,
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 the
that's it.
inner wisdom is coming through. And so that's when we say listen, and I put quotation marks around listen, because that means how does this make me feel? Do I have if you have a pit in your stomach or you got flutters in your
Yeah.
heart, or you do what Deb just did and
Yeah.
lifted, like, yeah,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
are all body reactions, and that's your inner wisdom going, woohoo, there it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Even if you don't think you're intuitive, but it's telling you all the time, every minute of every day.
Yep.
It's just, again, go back to tip number 2. Slow down long enough to notice.
Yep. Unpack it.
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. That's all the tips I have. Did you have more?
Trust.
Yeah, that's what
Trust.
you said.
Trust.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that was
I
trust your
thought,
intuition. This is
oh,
trust.
I
This is trust.
see.
This is
Trust your
trust. This is a
intuitions.
different
Trust,
one.
trust.
Yeah, this is trust everything. Trust everything that's going on around you. And if you
Mm-hmm.
can't find trust, go back to gratitude. Go back to curiosity and gratitude and slow down long enough to notice.
What it is, it's about trusting that you are in the right place at the right time. Even if the scenery looks wonky or wobbly, it
Yeah,
is still for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even
So,
if we don't think it sometimes, we're like, ugh, ugh. Um,
so that's where
so
we have
listeners,
our power, is to say, this may suck, but I can say I trust that I am in the right place at the right time.
at the right time.
All is
Yeah,
well in my world.
yeah. Even if it doesn't feel it, saying that stuff, you're tricking your body, but you're not tricking your body, you're just actually honoring your body.
Mhm.
And you can say those things. Yeah. Well, well,
Well, well.
listeners, tips to listen to your body. Eek. Yes, I heard them. I'll start listening. Ugh. Okay,
Thank
no.
goodness.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Um, I want to leave you with, oh no,
We have
we've got
to
yogi.
yogi
Crikey.
tea
We've got
bags, because
yogi
we
tea bag.
have two sitting here that I think are really awesome.
Okay, we'll do that before I give you a question to land you on your bum, people.
The first one, your inner self is your inner guide.
Oh,
And that's what
oh,
happens when you listen to your body. Your inner
yeah,
self is your inner guide. It's guiding the whole show.
done.
But
Yep.
then this one too, this is very important. This is referencing the heart coherence.
Okay.
The heart sees deeper than the eye.
Oh,
Ah,
that's a
the heart sees deeper than the eye.
yeah,
I can
that's a
just feel that in my heart.
that's a
That's a
yeah.
doozy.
That's a goodie. That's a goodie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a goodie. Um, well, listeners, as we wrap up our tips to listen to your body on our deliciously motivated mindset conversation, did I was just thinking, I wonder if people actually know where deliciously motivated came from. Deliciously was Debs,
That's
and
right.
motivated was Moira. Just
Yeah.
so you know,
D
people, I
D
just
and M. Yep.
yeah, D&M. That's where it came deliciously motivated. Yeah, just so you know, if we've never
There you
shared
go.
that,
There you
that came
go.
out. But I think, and I've learned this more and more this year with me and my body, is because last year my body held me up and traveled me around the world to do some crazy things with limited sleep and limited food.
Hmm.
But your body is not your enemy. It's your lifelong companion, and it's there forever,
Yep.
with whether you like it or not. So it's one of our greatest teachers. But I would like people to think today, what's one signal your body has given you? Says me, who woke up with a sore neck again this morning. What's your one signal your body has given you just lately that you may have been ignoring?
Hmm.
And I'm not saying, I'm just saying though, because it's already happening. Whatever's going on today is not the first day it's
It's
happened.
not to shame you.
No,
No.
it's there. So what is that one signal that your body is telling you, and then what are you going to do about it?
Mhm.
Not just, "Oh, okay, yeah, I've got it. Thanks very much. I'll write it down and carry on." No, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What is that?
Go get a
So
new
that is
pillow.
our yeah. I'm excited about. Oh, wonder what pill I'm going to have. Yeah. So we are signing off on our deliciously motivated mindset conversation. Thank you for listening to us today. Thank you for engaging and listening right to the end for our tips to listen to your body. Our body is so vital. It's the one thing that gets us through every
Well, it's
day.
our
Every
sacred
day.
vessel, right? It's our
It
sacred
is.
vessel for our spiritual journey.
It is.
Mhm.
So thank you, listeners. Thank you for today. Thank you, Moira, for engaging. Otherwise, it'd be a one-sided podcast. And thank you, Internet. Whoa, that was a close
Yeah,
call.
definitely. Thank you,
Yeah.
Internet. Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you,
Thanks,
listeners.
everybody.
We'll talk to
Thank
you
you.
next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.